When Olori Magege was there doing his first tenure, what did he do?
Yeah, still learning.
He started performing when he became DSP, Deputy Senate President. Olori Magege has served 2 tenures. Nobody pushed him out of the race. He voluntarily left the office of the Senate. His ambition grew bigger. And he lost. That you know why there's no agreement, the tenureship of a senator. We know that during the first tenure of any person, he may not perform. Yes, yeah. One of your man gave the rules. Yeah. So now put him down and say he did not sign on to state creation of Ulobo. Rather, he signed on to the creation of Anioma. Take Anioma out of Delta. What is left? It's not Ulobo State. So if you have a free ride over there to achieve your end, why not use that free ride? Why not come over here and create a new vehicle when there is a current vehicle that will take you to the promised land? If Anioma State is already the vehicle to create, they will take not away and leave the remaining for us. So maybe, so he said, well, it is left for the Ulobo people to decide who they want to be the senator representing them.
As everybody's eyes turn to the Apex Court in Nigeria, especially as it concerns the verdict that is expected today, as it concerns the main opposition party, many Nigerians are already looking at the future ahead. And we're talking about the 2027 general elections. Would the verdict in every way support the opposition in actually coming forth to be a main opposition as it concerns the election? Or would it in every way bar these opposition parties in contesting for the general elections come 2027? But whichever way it goes, the 2027 elections will be regarded as one of the most stiffest in recent time, looking at what indeed the main ruling party seems to be pushing forward with. With President Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming out yesterday to say there's every indication that the current violence in the country is attributed in ousting him from office, many are already saying, would the election itself be free, fair, credible, and without violence? But irrespective of wherever you think the divide will be, the main look will not just only be on the opposition party, but also rather on the ruling party. There's every indication that after the primaries, there might be implosions of the party, especially as it concerns some key states. Some of the key states are Adamawa, Nasarawa, Delta, and indeed Yobe. But with us looking at it critically as it concerns the Delta's election, especially as it concerns the primaries, the APC is already giving every indication. There's every mechanism for them to deal with the situation. But irrespective of what situation it is, what we do know is that the political climate is already heating up. And indeed, the verdict for today will definitely make or mar what will be. But what will be is for us to look at it, and hence that's what we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at the 2027 general election, and indeed the Supreme Court judgment. Will it make or mar the proceedings of the elections come 2027? And would it put a nail on the coffin of the opposition as it concerns the ADC and the PDP? Well, all of that will take center stage on our show today. We'll be looking at it critically as we x-ray on the 2027 general elections. It looks as if we are now at the turning point as it concerns the election with the primary schedule. I'm talking of the APC and also other parties. If the Supreme Court judgment is favorable to them, everybody is looking, would it indeed be a trying time as it concerns our election? Well, anyway, as you have that in mind, that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. And indeed, to help us talk about this, we have a chieftain. I like calling him an either statement, but he's telling me, come on, I'm young and vibrant, and I'm still in the politics of the day. And I'm talking of no other person, but Olori Magege. Olori Magege. Olori.
Good morning.
Well, this is the first time you're shaking me. It looks as if I introduced you properly.
No, it's not. I'm trying to assuage your fears about the 2027 election and about the political heat that seems to be on.
Well, it is hot.
It's hot, but there's no cause for alarm.
The tea I'm taking, though.
No cause for alarm. This is not the first time It's not the second time. It's always been like that.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay.
When people are contesting for scarce resource, like we're having in a country like Nigeria, where politics is the name of the only business, viable business, there is going to be friction, but they'll be resolved. They'll be resolved.
Okay, well, anyway, let's start our discourse by first looking at the expected verdict. Yeah, we don't want to sound prejudiced, and we do not want to predispose the outcome of what the verdict will be from the Supreme Court. But I mean, I'm a bit curious, and my curiosity is not out of place. Now, my curiosity is, would this in every way help shaping what will be as it concerns the 2027 election? Because today's verdict will either let us know whether the two leading opposition parties will take center stage during the 2027 polls. So, for you, would the outcome change anything? I'm talking about the verdict today. Would the outcome change the way the 2027 general elections will be, in your own honest assessment? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spotlight.
No, there's no problem with that. The verdict, whichever way it goes, will change the dynamics of the politics.
Will change the dynamics.
Will change the dynamics.
Most certainly.
Yes, it will. If it is favorable to the opposition parties, then APC will have to buck up. Because now it's no longer a one-party show.
Okay.
If the opposition loses, APC will live with the stigma, rightly or wrongly, that it used this judiciary to truncate true democracy. So, but the Supreme Court has always, at critical point like this, you remember there was a time during the Sheriff of Borno State, that when he was
Modu
Sharif, when he was chairman of PDP,
yes,
and he was used to destroy PDP. It's a long time PDP has been in this battle. Yes.
Internal war.
So the Supreme Court came and saved the situation.
Okay. As of then.
Ali
Modu Sharif.
Yes, Ali Modu Sharif. This time, I think it will do the same. It will look at, this is my view, my opinion.
That's why I said your honest view.
It will look at what is in the best interest of democracy for Nigeria. It will also read the mood of the general public. And then look at what is the national interest and will deliver a judgment.
So you're quite certain at the end of the day, it's going to be favorable to democracy itself?
Yes, democracy. Yeah, that's what I say. But for the opposition parties, it's almost too late for them to make an impact.
Whether the verdict is for their favor?
Yes. PDP is pretty well crawling on the ground. He's going to learn to sit. He's going to learn to sit, stand, and run.
And you feel it will be crawling when the elections are
Yes, within 8 months, nothing will happen there. ADC, given the caliber of people there,
vying for the seat.
Yeah, vying for the seat. If they decide to get their acts together
after today's
judgment, and if it is favorable to them, if they decide to get their acts together, given the public sympathy towards them, there is this feeling of conspiracy in the air. I'm APC.
Hovering around
issues, yes. And the insinuations against yes. There is tremendous sympathy towards ADC. Will it be able to convert it into electoral victory? Into votes. Adapt. It's too late. Time is too late.
Okay, now, it will not be too late for us to look at something also. And you just talked about the ADC, and I'm really interested in that. Now, just yesterday, issues are already arising on account of the ADC. And one of the issues is the obedient movement, which is a critical voice also as it concerns the ADC coalition, is already saying that zoning the presidency to the south will be the only way out. But we do know that the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, has come out to say, well, he's also viable and promised that this will be the last time he will be pushing out to be the president, and feels the ADC should give him that opportunity, knowing what he did in the 2023 elections, having close to 8 million votes. Now, my question is, whether the verdict goes well for the ADC, but they are immersed in power struggle between the Obedient, Kwasora group, the Amechi group, and the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar group, do you see them coming out well even after the goodwill of Nigerians?
The desperation of Atiku Abubakar, is very disturbing to me.
It's disturbing to you?
Yeah, it's disturbing to me. He has become a serial contestant in this election since his exit as vice president of the country. Yeah. His name has always been on the ticket for presidency. And he kept failing and failing and failing and failing. I think history wants him to be a statesman. Let him retire to his village and be farming. That's my view. But if Atiku insists that he must run, and if he does not run, everything should go kaput. Then there'll be a problem. There'll be a problem. Atiku has the sympathy of the North.
Does he still have it?
I think so, he does. Given the fact that the North is in the forefront of anti-Tinubu rhetoric.
As alleged, sir.
We see it now. We see in the papers. The president himself.
But there's no proof to
the
show.
president himself said that insecurity is being used.
But he did not call it section.
He didn't do what?
He didn't call it section of the country.
Oh, but we know it's the North. The North has been saying that insecurity in the North will be a determining factor in the election, in the forthcoming 2027 election. So if they've said it, and if they said it repeatedly, and insecurity is a major problem there, the insecurity in the North does not exist that much in the South. So insecurity is a problem of the North. So the North wants power to go back to them.
But you do know there's these unwritten agreements that the South will definitely do its 8 years before it goes back to the North.
If there is an agreement, an
unwritten agreement.
Yes, an unwritten agreement is agreement. Then why all these hulabalu? Why is Atiku fighting for this seat to go back to the North if there's an agreement? So it boils down to this. If there's any agreement, not many people want to obey it. Not everybody wants to abide by it. There are people who want to throw spanner into the wheel. Having said that, if Atiku decides to put all his weight behind Obi, then we, APC, will have to sit up very tight. We have to sit up very tight. Not that they will defeat us.
But it's going to be keen.
It's been a very keen contest, And the keener the contest, the
more credible.
Yeah, the more credible the election.
Outcome.
Yes. So,
which will be good for everybody.
For Nigeria democracy. Will be good for Nigeria democracy.
But do you see that happening? Atiku putting his weight over the Obedient?
I don't know. It's very difficult. Atiku, the desperation in Atiku is...
Would his desperation make him support to Peter Obi?
He knows that, just like you said, that he promised this will be his last effort at winning the presidency. So if this was his last, then he's not going to acquiesce very quickly, very easily. So I don't know.
Well, anyway, let me not make you be a prophet of doom. I've never seen.
I will never be.
Or I've never seen you even prophesy and giving us any prophecy in recent time, especially as it concerns. You prophesy about the country, and some of them are very true. Because I could still remember on this platform, you said the insecurity was all political.
Yeah.
And that's what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said.
Said yes.
So that prophecy came true. So I might be calling you Prophet Olori Magege.
Oh, don't call me a prophet.
Okay, let me leave you being a prophet. I know you might end up asking for offering. But let's leave that now. And I come to another major issue.
Yeah.
And the issue I want us to look at, let's still look at the position. And one party I know you just spoke honestly and a bit not too certain about them. And it's the PDP.
Yeah. What about the PDP?
Now let's look at them. Because every eye is pushing to the PDP ADC. Now the ADC, we are not certain of what the outcome will be, irrespective of the judgment today. But the PDP already seems to have a structure. Undermining it's now tinted towards the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. But do you see the PDP undermining? They might still be crawling, putting their acts in order, and coming out with a viable contest, even if it's not towards the presidency, but at least showing some remarkable push, especially as it concerns the National Assembly.
Their national leader is Nyesom Wike, who is strongly pro-Tinubu. So I do not see how PDP will come up to put up a challenge, any meaningful challenge against APC's presidential candidate. Given that Nyesom Wike continues to behave the way he's behaving today, I don't see any. PDP is a matter for the future, not for now. It's a matter for the future. And again, public perception of Wike is very bad. So PDP will harvest a substantial amount of that bad will from the general public. And it will be seen as a stooge
To the ruling party.
to the ruling party. So, I don't see PDP as performing any meaningful thing, putting up any meaningful performance in the general election, the forthcoming general election. No, it's not.
Okay, now let's leave all of that, but talk about something also that played out yesterday, still about the election, and is a statement coming from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he's a very stubborn politician, which we know. We are not insulting him. We are not calling him that. He called himself that yesterday, and but he said a whole lot. And one of the things he said he's going to rerun. His campaigns will start soon. He's going to seek for a second term. We know Faleke bought in the form just the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And he has now given us that full belief that he will definitely run and seek for an election. But what I'm more concerned is the rhetorics that seem to play out around insecurity in the country. Yes, we spoke a bit about it, of how maybe it's being masterminded by some political elites in a certain region. Well, let's look at that now. Many will say he's the man on top. Why complain? You have the power to change the narrative. Why complain? You have the power to deal with the insecurity. Go after these persons that you know are the ones instigating insecurity in order to give you a bad name. So let's look at this. Would it not be in his own interest as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to pull away the big stick? I know many will say, well, it might be too hard, and people will come out to say he's been a bit too hard on the section, but would it not profit Nigeria if the big stick is being used now to deal with the issue of insecurity?
You see, again, I will use the word too late into the election year. You see, if the president had wielded the big stick right from day one, by now, insecurity will have been dealt with. People have been hurt, and there will have been sufficient time to let them heal and amend. There is no time now for any amendment before the election. Because if he starts to act now very strongly against those behind this security, like he's dealing with Malami, El-Rufai and Malami, and you hear the cries, oh, we are in opposition, so he's dealing with us.
Well, we are from a certain region.
He deal with us. So is when
going to cause more problem.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When he wins the election in his second tenure, you will see the truth in the book. Insecurity will run. They will run into the desert, into the rivers. He will deal with them. He will deal with them and will deal with them very squarely, because he doesn't have any fear, any worries about another tenure hanging on his head. This is it, and this is it. So let's wait till he wins the election, and then you will see insecurity will be dealt with.
But do you feel there are some political players, non-state actors, using this to score cheap political gains?
Of course, yes. And that's the nature of politicians. They are looking for means to make cheap
political
gains.
Scores.
Cheap political blackmail. Of course, they are there. They are there. Very many. And we know them. We know them. But our hands are tied because of the forthcoming election. No sooner than you hear people saying there is freedom of speech has been eroded. Opposition will start crying foul and all that. But dealing with insecurity in this country will require a unity of mind. We all must come out and say enough is enough and deal with it squarely. And we deal with this squarely when there is no election nearby. That's my
Okay, well anyway, well, in case you're joining us, it's a deep dialogue, and today we're looking at not just only the verdict that will be giving today as it concerns whether the opposition parties, we're talking about the People's Democratic Party and the ADC, or will they be a part of the general elections in the forthcoming elections come 2027. But we're also looking at every other political drama that seems to be unfolding. Yeah, this might not be Nollywood, but I know it's bigger than Bollywood. And indeed, Hollywood will be looking to say, wow, what drama seems to be playing out, especially when it concerns the elections in Nigeria. And hence, we're looking at this, and I still have no other person but Chief Olori Magege helping out to really let us honestly, critically look at some of the issues. Let's return to another major issue. Now, in my introduction, I spoke about the recent dealings that seems to be happening in the APC. And I want us to come home, because it's better you speak first at home. That's where you get your first respect. Undermining a prophet is not respected in his own. But irrespective of that, let's look at the forthcoming primaries. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just last week gave governors the free hand. Go ahead, conduct your primaries. But irrespective of that, he never gave anybody a total automatic ticket, especially as it concerns members of the red and green chambers. And only recently, Delta State seems to be in the front line.
Yeah.
Because we have the Delta Central senatorial seat being contested by two heavyweights. We're talking of former Vice Senate President, Olori Magege, and the incumbent Senator, Ede Dafinone. Now, let's look at this and look at all that played. Just last week, we had a guest, or this week, early this week of dialogue, we had a guest that spoke extensively of why he feels everybody should put their weight behind the former Deputy Senate President. And also just on Sunday, a major declaration and rally was staged in Ughelli. Funny enough, I saw what happened there because I stayed there. But anyway, I was not a part of it, so they will not look at me as if I'm a party member. Well, I'm not. Now, let's look at that narrative. Now, a lot was said by our guest then, and he complained about bitterly of what he feels is the non-performance of the current senator representing Delta Central. Hence, he feels more should be given to the former Deputy Senate President. I want your reaction to this itself, because a whole lot was said. And I know you followed the program.
I did. First, your guest, Dr. Wishinamene,
Yes.
assumed too much of knowledge, of influence, of political know-how over what he called zoning and unzoning.
Which is a sitting issue.
Yes. The core of his argument is that the governor and Senator Ede Davinone are from the same Okpe. And I've been in politics for quite a long time.
That I know.
Particularly in this current dispensation.
That I know.
When you start using the words Western Urobo and Eastern Urobo, those were archaic language of those days. Ancient days of the 60s and 70s when we have Western and Eastern Urobo. Eastern Urobo was then made up of Ugele North, Ugele South, and Isoko. And the rest, 6 local governments of Udu, Urie, Okpe, Sapele, the Ethiops, they are all in Western Urobo. The first thing that happens when we want to start practicing politics is delineation, boundaries. You must know where your boundaries are and who are the people living within those boundaries.
And the big stakeholders within that.
Yeah. What is left of Eastern Urobo today is Ugele North, Ugele South. That's all that is left of the
former
ancient, not even just ancient Eastern Urobo. And when you say you are going to zone something between 6 local government and 2 local government, does not make any sense. You're going to zone between 6 local government on one side, and 2 local government on the other side. Does not make any sense. And as a matter of fact, this division does not exist anymore. That political geography of East and West Urobo does not exist anymore by our constitution of the country. What we have now are the federal constituencies.
Okay.
3 federal constituencies. 1, Udu, Ugele North, Ugele South. Udu used to be part of Western Urobo. It's now in Ugele North, Ugele South, Udu federal constituency. We have the Ethiop federal constituency, which is made up of Ethiop West and Ethiop East. And then the Osu, Okpe, Sapele, and Urie federal constituency. That's what has been in existence since 1999.
With the new dispensation.
In the new dispensation. And that is what we can only deal with. We cannot import one thing that expired, a dinosaur, into the present dispensation and to use it as a basis for zoning anything. That's number 1. Number 2, there were 2 forces in Delta Central that shaped the political dynamics of Delta Central right from 1999, precisely right from 2023.
Okay, 2023.
Yes. Onanefe Ibori, His Excellency, won the election in 1999. And he created a very powerful bloc politically, a powerful force politically, using the state power.
As of then.
When he was governor 2020,
2003.
2000 and, from 1999 to 2003.
2007.
Now, a new force came in the person of Great Ogboru. Great Ogboru had this mistake of having staged a civilian coup, participated in a civilian coup against Babangida.
In the IBB era.
Yes. And that catapulted it into fame. Into fame that almost it was like a cult, a demigod. And people love him because the guy is really handsome.
And daring.
And daring. And Urobo as a people is a very egalitarian group. Very, very egalitarian.
Okay.
And we hate oppression. So, given the way PDP of that time of Ibori time, ran the election of 2003, that was the year Ogboru contested against Ibori. And the way Ogboru was chased out of the state, people did not like it. The sympathy was towards Ogboru. But the state apparatus was PDP, was in the hand of PDP, I was in the hand of Ibori. So, you dey watch how they enter Odidigbe Igbo. That is the song which Ibori used to contest the 2003 election, which smacks of some kind of arrogance and impunity. You dey watch her, you dey enter. There's not. You see, you are watching me. I'm entering. There's nothing you can do to block me. So people saw it as arrogance, as impunity, and that again pushed sympathy more towards Ogboru. So fine, since there was Delta South and Delta North, where Ogboru influence is very minimal, Ibori won. But in Delta Central, which is mainly Urobo, Ogboru had a field day. Are you getting what I'm saying? Although he lost in Urobo,
I know.
But the feeling is that the feeling, yes. So it was almost like, fine, if we cannot defeat you at the governorship level, we'll defeat you at the Senate level. Thus began a group of politicians of PDP extraction who couldn't do well in PDP, but they started riding on the back of Ogboru to go to Senate, to go to other positions.
You're just giving us a breakdown.
I'm just giving a breakdown to tell them if there's any zoning at all, it's between Ogboru and Onanefe Ibori, or between Ogboru and PDP. Ogboru had no party. Any party he goes to overnight, it takes over. Yeah. In Central, in Delta Central. That was how Ewerido became senator. Yes. On the back of Ogboru. Although Ewerido himself was a politician of status, of caliber. Yes. But when you add that to this mistake of Ogboru, he had a landslide victory. But Ewerido did not stay too long before he died. And because Ogboru was not on the ticket for the by-election into the Senate, Agwadiawo don't want for PDP. Are you following me? Yeah, Agwadiawo won. That led into 2007 elections, where Eferekaya Okpeman won. We know how he won. Ibori mistake. That's how he won. When Eferekaya left, when Awaniawodo left. Our man, your man, Magege,
Our man.
riding on the back of Ogboru, won the Senate. He won the Senate. Ogboru could deliver Senate, but he couldn't deliver.
Okay.
Urobo love Ogboru. They opened their purse, they opened their heart, they opened their home to him. When Magege finished his first tenure, he had fallen out of with Ogboru. But he had quickly identified with Mr. President.
Yes, as of then.
As of then. Buhari as of then.
Yeah.
And these were the stories of missing maize
and all
that, which made him to win for Senate again. Are you getting me?
With the backing of the
presidency at that time.
Or rather, with the blessings, not the backing, let's call blessings.
And then he became the deputy Senate president. In all this I'm telling you now, there is no issue of Western Urobo or Eastern Urobo. No issue of Western Urobo or Eastern Urobo. It was issue of PDP political machinery versus Ogboru political machinery in Delta Central.
So you could be from either Ethiopia East.
You could be from anywhere.
You could be from...
as long as you are Ogboru man at that time, you win your election in Urobo land. So to now say that it is zoning, it's belying the issue. That's not the truth. If there is any zoning at all, it's a struggle between PDP structure and Ogboru structure. Then, this issue now is emerging because Ogboru had lost his mystique
against the Urobo people.
In Urobo land. He has lost the mystique. He has contested for too long a time, and he wasn't bringing victory home. People are tired, people are broke. And they are calling him all kinds of names and all that, which is not issue for here.
Yeah.
So, somebody now to come out and say that Sheriff is from Eastern Urobo, Western Urobo, therefore, Dafinone is from... Things to be, if we are going to zone at all, it's going to be new, a new thing. And it's going to be based on existing political geography.
Now let's look at the political geography.
Yeah.
What brought in Senator Dafinone was the APC.
Agreed.
What brought in Governor Sheriff Oboriwori was the PDP.
Yes.
Now, they later emerged into one.
Yeah. Which
is now the present APC. Many will say, would it be fair that the merger will now kick out Efe Dafinone? Would it be fair? Because he rode on the mantra of the APC. And if there was never any agreement beforehand that if the APC now comes on board, if they merge, you will leave and another will take. So let's look at this. Does it make any sense that, okay, because of the merger now, somebody needs to suffer? Let me understand. If you understand my question.
Yes, I understand your question very well. And it needs a lot of traps for me as an Urobo man and as APC stalwart. Because I know a lot of people will be watching this and be...
Well, that dialogue has a lot of followership.
We'll be sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing. See what Magege is saying, see what Magege is saying. But, hey, at a point in time, one must be a statesman and call a spade. Sheriff, His Excellency the Governor, and Senator Dafinone are victims of circumstances. It was not meant to be like this. They are both collateral damages of wicked machineries. So, they have emerged. The governor is entitled to his two tenures. Two tenures.
Of course.
And he's going.
Of course.
That, you know, why there's no agreement, the tenureship of a senator. We know that during the first tenure of any person, he may not perform. Yes, yeah. One of your Magege, yeah, one of your Magege was there during his first tenure. What did he do? Yeah, still learning the ropes. He started performing when he became DSP, yeah, Deputy Senate President. So he's still learning. So now put him down and say he did not sign on to state creation of Urobo. Rather, he signed on to the creation of Anioma. Take Anioma out of Delta. What is left? It's not Urobo, it's Urobo State. So if you have a free ride over there to achieve your end, why not use that free ride? Why not come over here and create a new vehicle when there is a current vehicle that will take you to the promised land? If Anioma State is already the vehicle to create, they will take not away and leave the remaining for us. So maybe so he signed well. I applaud him for signing over there. And of course, we've not heard from him
on this issue.
On this issue. We've not heard from him on this issue. So we can't really make a pronouncement on the Dafinone based on what Wisinomene said. We cannot. All I'm saying is this. It is left for the Urobo people to decide who they want to be the senator representing them. Let's not castigate anybody. If Dafinone has a rich history behind him, and well, he may have started slowly, but he's picking up. He's picking up. Let's give him a chance. That's what I'm saying. Magege has served 2 tenures. Nobody pushed him out of the race. He voluntarily left the office of the Senate. His ambition grew bigger. And he lost. So let him rest a bit. Let's try Dafinone for another tenure. If Dafinone wins the primaries. All we are saying now, the House, we don't know who will win the primary. We don't know. But
would there be a primary?
Yes, there must be primary.
But we do know the consensus will also be.
People misunderstand this consensus thing.
Let's try to understand.
Yes.
Yeah, please. It's an opportunity for us.
Yes, people misunderstand this consensus thing. Consensus.
That's what they are saying.
The electoral act specifies 2 methods for the emergence of a candidate. Before the emergence of candidates, we have aspirants. Okay. Aspirants are individuals who are expressing interest in becoming the flag bearer of a party. And the primary is the election in which one will emerge victorious. One. So the electoral act says there are only 2 ways through which the primaries will be conducted. One of 2 ways. Consensus and direct primary. Direct primary is where every card-carrying member of a party participates in the election, the primary election. They vote. Yeah. It's almost like a general election.
But among
only party faithfuls, party members. The consensus is leaders will call all the contestants, all the aspirants, and convince them one by one to step down for another. One that has the greatest, a better opportunity, a better chance of winning.
Win the election.
Because you don't go into election just to contest. You want to win. So the party elders look at the indices for winning.
And the most viable.
Yes. It decides using those indices to decide who is more viable. Viable in terms of money. Viable in terms of experience. Viable in terms of compatibility with the ideas of the ruling party, compatibility with his own personality. His own personality,
Charisma.
Like his charisma. Is it charismatic? These are the indices that party leaders will use to decide who is most fitting. And then it will use persuasion to tell other contestants, please let this one go.
More like horse trading.
Yes,
I'll give you these, commissioner these. Or...
But if at the end of the day, more than one contestant still remains standing, then they go to primary. Direct primary. Are you getting me? So when people just ban the consensus, the aspirant himself reserve the right to say, I agree or I disagree. If I disagree, we go into direct primary election. So where that opportunity is, why are these cries over?
But let me ask you, because we've not heard much about it, and we don't know whether that will be. Are we going to have a direct primaries in Delta? Because in the way it sounds now, Olori Magege has not come out to say, I threw in the towel. That he has not said. And that Finona is still vying. And not only that, we are beginning to hear more names.
More names are coming in.
Emerging to want to also be a part of this.
Yes, now.
So is there every possibility that direct primaries will be at the end of the day?
There is the possibility. There is the possibility, but I trust the capacity of APC leadership in Delta State to have this matter resolved. The way it resolved the Congress.
Okay.
You see, it's not new. Recent ESCOs. The same method now is consensus now. Okay. The same method. Okay. So APC leadership in Delta State has an experience to fall back to over the Congress.
So are they presently doing that?
Yes, they are. The local government chairman just completed, local government party chairman just concluded a meeting with the state working committee. Okay. And they've set into machinery the process of achieving this. But whatever it is, those who are aggrieved, those who are not happy with it, can opt for direct primary. And we are ready.
It's their right.
It's their right. So let's not start crucifying consensus as if it's denying anybody anything. No. It's an effort by the leadership of the party to streamline the process and reduce acrimony and animosity in the system. That's all.
Okay, well, anyway, I don't know. We've been talking for close to an hour now, and all we've said is critical, as it not concerns just only the federal elections, but also elections that will be held in the state, which is also paramount, and indeed one that will not be there. Time is not like I said, we'll soon go, but before we do so, I still have one final question to ask you. At the end of the day, all said and done, primaries, directs, consensus, whatever, do you see the APC coming out stronger, united, indivisible, when all of this is said and done? Because you do know tomorrow will be the beginning of a new month. And that's the month of primaries. We call it the month of primaries.
Yes.
And today also, a judgment is coming to either put the opposition on ground. So today is a critical day as it concerns what will happen next month. So my question is, do you see the APC remaining a united, indivisible, strong family, both at the national and the state level? Come, May 30th.
Yes.
Ending of what?
Yes. I've said earlier on, when you asked me about the judgment and what will be the fate of the opposition parties, I said it's too late. That's what I said. There's no magic for PDP. There's no magic for ADC. It is too late. We have a few months, just a few months to the general election. A few months. What are you going to do? Unless APC does something so destructive, so unusual,
which is not certain.
Which I don't see. I don't see how. I don't see how APC could so mismanage itself as to provide opportunity for ADC or PDP to exploit. No, I don't see it. And victory, success always attracts like honey to be. When Mr. President has won his primary, there will be primary too for Mr. President.
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Governor has won his. There will be bandwagon effect. There will be bandwagon effect. Everybody wants to be part of the victory. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not worried. I am not worried a minute. I'm not worried. Plus, the fact that when I was coming from Agbaro here, it took me just less than 20 minutes. I just went through the fiber, through there, I'm at roundabout. Hey, the people that were with me in the vehicle were singing Ukodo, 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 Ukodo. So, Ukodo is winning. So why am I worried? And when Ukodo wins, the food will become plentiful. And many people will come at it. There is nothing to lose sleep over in the fortune of APC. APC fortune will continue to rise and rise and rise in Delta State and in the country.
Well, anyway, I need to thank Prophet. Sorry, I'm talking of Olori Magege.
You didn't look for my trouble.
He prophesied the other day and he came to come to reality. So I'm not out of place in calling you prophets already. But I doubt if I'll be coming to your church. But anyway, I thank you.
I don't have any church.
Okay, well, anyway. Olori Magege, for really taking your time, coming forth to fully clarify some things, and coming forth to answer these questions, and not only coming forth to do this, but doing it in your own usual way of being very simple in explanation. We truly want to thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate your presence, and also use this opportunity to say we appreciate the fact that anytime we call on you, could even be late in the night, Magege, we want you on dialogue, you come and dialogue.
Yes.
And that's what we really enjoy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And your presence.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap for me. We've been talking for more than 1 hour now, and it's interesting, and will always remain interesting. And I want to say this, the dialogue family is growing by the day. We are really happy about that. That shows we know what we are doing, and you're enjoying what we are doing, and we really appreciate all the lovely comments that come on account of what you say. We will say thank you. We will not fail to say thank you. We are seeing your comments. We're seeing those that are following us. We truly appreciate you people. Thank you for doing that. And I will also emphasize that please drop your comment on our different social media platforms. Share, like, let's partake in this building of the nation. That's what we always enjoy doing on Dialogue. I thank you so much for this, but I'll tell you to still remain with no other but viewpoint, because the news will come around the hour, and you do know there's a whole lot right here on the station. Bye for now.